Hey guys, it's Kayla Coleman, the Chief Operating Officer of the Tyler Miller team, and I'm here with another Agent Spotlight. Today we have Nathan Atkinson with us. Woo!
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to talk with your hands.
I know, I'm not like there.
You're not blocking it?
I'm not blocking it. I know, I'm just like, okay. Well, you've had a stellar last month. I mean, you had a good year overall. But the last month you've really been cranking out different appointments and stuff like that. And so I just want to talk to you a little bit about it, where you're finding success and basically just where you're having success, I guess. So in the last 30 days, you've had 27 appointments. Who are you meeting with? What are you doing? Fill me in.
Good question. Just kind of anybody and everyone. So like having the podcast now, that gives me a reason to kind of reach out to other people and other professions and just kind of get to meet more people, whether that be insurance agent, financial advisor, just other business owners and stuff like that. So that just kind of helps get my name out there, get my brand out there, which we've seen with other people in their podcasts.
Yeah.
So just kind of doing something just to grow the sphere and stuff like that. I did that event, so that was just kind of fun.
Yes.
Like I think my thought is maybe do something kind of extra like once a month. So
Yeah.
the event last month, I want to do like a webinar at some point.
Yeah.
Or either that or just do like Thanksgiving messages and count that as a thing, because I'm going to try to message everyone in my sphere at some point.
That's a lot.
Today. Yeah.
Hey, but you can just sit on the couch and type them all out and just, it takes a lot of time, but it's really good. Gives people a touch, keeps you top of mind.
Yeah.
So when you're meeting with these people, what kind of things are you talking about?
Just anything and everything real estate related. Like
Yeah.
if I'm meeting with, I don't want it to be like a script where it's like the same stuff that we're talking about over and over again.
Right.
And like, I feel like I don't know. I don't want it to just be like, hey, I'm meeting with you. Like, let me get direct business from you. I'd just rather like sit down and talk, and then we kind of find like a unique way that we can work together. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think everyone has their own like synergies and stuff like that. Like I might work great with someone for open houses, and I might work great with someone for like making videos and stuff like that. So it's just kind of like talking, getting to know them, their business, what works really good for them, and then like how we can mesh and like help each other out.
Yeah. I think that's so important, like you have to find people that work for you. And we talk about it on the team all the time. Like someone might be really good on the phone talking to people, but then they get in front of people and they're like kind of freeze up and can't do it. Some people would rather do open houses because they'd rather meet someone face to face than cold calling them. So it's finding the partners that you work alongside with to kind of have the same thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. You've also had 13 open houses.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a lot busier with those, and then just even like tracking stats and stuff, just to kind of, I don't know. I mean, I was like looking back, I was like, I looked back and I was like, I've got whatever X amount of open house leads, and it was, I think the numbers were like, 10 to 20% of people that walked through open houses that I got their info like ended up buying, whether that was with me or with someone else, and that's just in the last 12 months.
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow, that's really high converting, like 15%. And that's just like the people that I was able to talk to and get their info on. And it's like, okay, if I can do 4 open houses a weekend, and if I get 1 to 2 good leads a weekend, then that's, whatever, math, it'll
After 2 weekends, you'll probably close a deal. Hopefully. 2-3 weekends.
That's the hope. I mean, just kind of keep doing it over and over again, just kind of build up the sphere and just get more leads. I've met like a 600 to 700K buyer, someone who wants to buy a condo, someone. Mainly those two are kind of like the highest priority. Then I've got like another 3 to 4 that I've kind of met in the last month that are like actively looking for stuff.
Last spring you met Minnesota Wild player too.
I did, yeah.
What was his name again?
Frederick Gaudreau.
Yes, that was it. And they ended up not buying, right?
They ended up buying a piece of land through someone else.
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah, well, so I showed them a piece of land. So they said that they were looking for something specific, like kind of a unicorn property.
Yeah.
They wanted to essentially like a $2 million house for like $1.8 million. And then so we looked at a piece of land and stuff. We're kind of talking through options. The builder there is like, we can't do anything for less than like 2.2. That's just not what we do. We bring out architects and this, that, and the other. And I was like, well, you could find someone that could build it for less than that. And so I was kind of going out, reaching out to a few people. And then they're like, you know what, we actually decided that we're just going to renovate our house in Canada and just do that. I was like, okay. Then I went to go follow up with them after a little bit, just to be like, hey, how are things going in Canada? Just out of curiosity, I'm like, what if they bought something? They did.
That sucks.
Yeah, but it's like, what do you do? It's like, I don't know. It's not like I was best friends with them.
No, but so since they had the house in Canada, when when he was here playing, did he just like rent an apartment or something, or?
No, they had a house
They
here
had a
too.
house here
Yeah.
too. Okay. Just wasn't a massive one. So you talk about numbers a lot with your open house, which I think is super important because not a lot of people do it enough, right? We kind of did the math the other day after the call night, and it was, okay, we made this many calls and set this many appointments, which is great. Doing it on a large scale like that, it's pretty easy. But doing it day to day, being like, okay, this day I know that if I call this many people, I'll end up with this many appointments approximately. So like the fact that you're doing that for your open houses is super great because you can just be like, okay, I'm having a slow month. I'm just going to go pound out 4-6 open houses and I know I'll get something out of it. So,
And then I track like the day, time, price point, how many people came through, how much info I got, and then who's like a legit lead.
yeah.
Because then I can see, oh, I did like 10 open houses at like 3 to 400K and like 10 people came through on average or whatever. Or like I did them at 6 to 700 and like 2 people came through on average. And then just kind of seeing like where leads are coming from. Because then I don't know, I just want to find like the most bang for my buck. Like if I can do 2 open houses that give me the same results as 4, then it's like, oh, I'll totally do that.
Do you have like a massive spreadsheet for this?
Not massive, but it's growing.
Okay. That's exciting. I want to see that because I nerd out over that stuff. So like that's cool that you're tracking it down to that. And then you're probably also tracking like, is it the first weekend on the market? Is it a second weekend? Did they do a price reduction? Okay, well there you go. You can add that one. I trademark it.
Yeah. I mean, I normally just go for like something that's been on for like less than 14 days.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess, almost everything I've done. But
yeah.
I should, like if there is a recent price reduction or like how many days it's been on the market or something like that.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah. I also go on like Zillow too. Like if I'm looking at houses, like I'll go on EXP listings, I'll find like 10. Then I go on Zillow and I'm like, okay, what has the most saves and likes and views? And then I'm like, okay, like people are going to show up to that one.
Yeah.
In theory.
That makes sense. Jeez. You're a mad scientist. I like it.
I just like numbers, I guess.
I know you do. We're going to come back to that. Don't worry. And then also within the last 30 days, you've had one accepted offer. So tell me a little bit about where they came from, their story, anything like that you want to share.
So they were referred to me by another lender. Cool. Some of their Zillow leads, they just kind of sent them over. They're like, hey, looking to just get in front of these people. Like we've talked with some of them, but they just haven't really transacted or anything. So I just kind of took them on and just have been calling through a couple times a month, just going through the whole list and just reaching out to people, just seeing where I can provide value and whatnot. And, one of them, she'd kind of start and stop. Then I just got in contact with her and then just kind of showed her the path, kind of laid out things. I was like, hey, like we can get this done. Like this could be, you can get what you want. And then she's like, yeah, let's do it. And so just kind of that little enthusiasm, then just kind of laying things out and just kind of showing that it's not as scary as it is, I think just kind of helped her go, yeah, let's move forward and do this. And so, I don't know, that had to be late summer. So a couple months later, we get her into a townhouse that she loves.
And I think that's the thing that people have a hard time with right now is they want instant gratification. They want to get a call for a Zillow lead and they want to close them that day. And it's just not super realistic. It can happen and it's awesome when it does, because then your dollar per hour on them is lower. But a lot of these people, it's a long game. You got to call for 6 months a year. You got to keep providing value and education. And you have to be in it for the long game. You can't come into this thinking you're going to get a sale your first week. It can happen, but it might not always. So what is your follow? So like you said, you try and follow up with those people once a month, once every couple months?
Yeah. So at first when I got them, I was probably following up. I mean, I went through the list more frequently, but then now it's like kind of once a month because it's like, okay, they've been bugged for a while and stuff like that. And it's like you never know who you're going to get a hold of. So you just kind of go through the list, call them all once a month, and then just kind of go from there.
Right. And luckily, like with the little bit of rate drop here, you had a reason to reach out, where before it was just like, hey, how's it going? You want to buy a house yet? Or are you going to pretend to ignore me? So have you tried the like, hey, is this da-da-da text?
Yeah, I've done those. And then, but you always get the like, yeah, and then nothing.
And then they never reply.
Yeah. Or yeah, who's this? It's like, I've texted you 80 times at this point. Scroll up.
Right. Ugh, that's so frustrating. So you're super into numbers. I should have texted you this last night when I was thinking about it. I thought about it when I saw your podcast pop up last night. You always in the script battle hit us with some like crazy numbers and statistics. So what is a stat out there right now about the housing market or anything like that you're kind of providing for different people that you're in contact with?
So one I've been thinking about, I don't know if it's, well, so looking at the overall real estate market.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love this. I love it because you're just about to just like explode.
Just go. Yeah. Well, there's so much. So like I look at prices and as they're rising, right? Like whatever, the average home price probably 5 years ago was 250 or something.
Yep.
And now we're 375. So that's just going to keep rising in the metro. Looking at numbers, there's nothing that points to like prices going down. Like supply, we have 1 million homes on the market versus 4 million in 2008. There's 22,000 new households since then. 40% of mortgages are below 3%. Institutional investors own 25% of single-family homes, but that's going to raise to 40% in 2030. It's like looking at all that, when are prices going to go down?
They're not.
I think the prediction is that the average home price in Minnesota is $500,000 by 2026, 2027. So it's like if you just call it 2030,
Yeah.
40% of homes, single-family homes, are bought by institutional investors. They'll never be sold to a like average person again.
Nope.
Probably 10 to 20% of single-family homes have a rate below 3%, and they really don't want to sell.
I don't want to sell, and mine's below that.
Exactly. So it's like not too many people are going to sell. So there's less single-family homes, keeping supply even smaller, which just keeps driving prices up. And so when the average home price is $500,000, it's like if you're a single person making $100,000, you probably can't even really afford that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy to think about. And so the thought is that we're going to be a country of renters, or like the affordability is going to be eroded and eroded and eroded. And so it's like, what do you do to prepare for the future? So the government rolling out that like 5% down program.
Yep.
I was talking with another lender, and he thinks that's kind of like to combat that.
Yeah.
Because it's like you can house hack and then you're making rental income so that you're not paying $3,000 a month for 3 bedrooms by yourself.
Yeah.
So I think that's valuable. Also, another guy brought out like townhouses, condos, and like multi-unit properties are going to be the wave of the future, just because, you know, you can put a single family home down and rent that out for $2,000, or you could put a 4-unit and rent that out for $8,000.
Right. And I think that there's like a change in like the demographic as well, where like there's a lot of single people out there that never want to settle down. So having those smaller units and like or more like apartment based homes, I think is something that a lot of people are looking for, you know, not a single family house for themselves and they're a single person and they plan to be single for the rest of their life, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And then there's just a lot with that. And then so just that, like, that's going to affect everyone differently. Like if you're someone my age, 22, and you're like looking to buy your first house, then
Wait,
like,
you're still only 22?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Everyone forgets I'm 22. I'm younger than Nate by like a couple months, but.
You guys make me feel old. Because I think about the things I was doing when I was 22 and oofda. That's okay. Anywho, sorry.
We're still kids. We still do things. But no, it's like that's different for everyone else. Like if you're someone that's like, I want to invest, then it's like, okay, maybe like multi-units might be the way to go. Like just finding that path to get there. If you're like a young 22, like looking to kind of buy the first home, then it's like kind of telling people like, yeah, you maybe want that like 4-bedroom home right away.
Right.
But prices are going to just keep going.
Right.
So it's like kind of get your foothold in the market, buy like a 2-bedroom home, buy a condo, buy a townhouse. Then you're going to like really enjoy that appreciation as it goes up. Rates are going to drop at some point, whether that be 1, 2, 5 years. And so at that point, it opens up a lot of possibilities. I mean, if you look back at people who, you bought 2-3 years ago or something like that?
I bought in 2016.
Never mind.
I bought in 2016 and we got an interest rate. It was 2.75. So when the rates dropped during COVID, it wasn't even low enough for us to consider refinancing. We could have maybe got like 0.5%, but with the cost, it wasn't worth it. But yeah.
Wow. Well, I guess I was way off there. But my thought is just like people who bought like 2-3 years ago, like their house went up 20-30% in value. Like they made $50,000, $60,000, $100,000. And so it's like that's just kind of what I try to highlight to people is like, yeah, I mean, you might not get the house you want necessarily, but that's just kind of the way things are. You could go make another $40,000 a year and get the house, or you can buy something smaller now and make $40,000 from appreciation.
Yeah, like our house when we bought it was 180, and now we could sell it for well over 3, which is just insane. Is it we're in Brooklyn Park? We didn't want to end up there. My neighborhood's quiet, like there's no problems with it, but it's not where we want to stay forever. Like I don't want to see my neighbors, you know. But again, it's what we want to buy. We like our 12.
Do you want to buy a $1.5 million property with a private pond?
No, I don't. No.
There's a shop.
No, I'm good.
You could run a business out of it.
I don't think so. No, I mean, like, I like our house, but, like, I also really like our mortgage payment, which is really nice, which, you know, I know the whole, like, your lifestyle interest rate and all of that, but I just don't know. It's not in the cards for us yet.
Yeah. I mean, when it makes sense to, like, spend more money to have something that you really, really like, then it,
Right.
you know.
I think a lot of it will be, like, once we have kids, right? And, like, they're in school and stuff. Because ultimately, we don't want to sell our house. We want to keep it and rent it out and whatever. But, yeah, once we have kids that are in school, we'll probably end up moving out of Hennepin County, probably for sure.
And then go where? Anoka?
Anoka or, like, Sherburne, like, up there. Like,
Rock?
not Old Rock. Like, Zimmerman, Dayton, Princeton. That's probably a little far, but up in that area, we want land. So, yeah.
Go to Oak Grove.
Well, Tom's at City of Otsego now.
Oh.
So, like, we have to be a little bit more west than, like, before what we were thinking. We just want to make sure that goes well, too. You know, he really likes it, but we definitely want to get out of Hennepin County. I'll tell you that much. Okay, cool. Anything else about those numbers you want to talk about? You went off, and, like, there's so much there that I'm just like, I know what it means, but some other people don't. So I just wanted to see if there's anything else you want to talk about there.
I can always talk about numbers, but that's
just you. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, I love it. Well, we'll have you back on, and then we'll have more numbers.
I'll prepare something.
Okay, I'll tell you next time. I just wanted to see what you could throw at me. Okay, so I always like to do, like, a little fun segment to break up the work real estate talk, whatever. So some people I've done, like, word associations. I've done, like, letter associations. Tony, we talked about, like, oldest trick in the book. That was kind of fun. It's kind of like dad tricks, you know. For you, I want to do when I say a color, what you think of.
Okay.
First thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm just curious what I'll come up with.
Okay. Teal.
Tangerine.
Tease.
Tease.
Tangerine. Tease. Okay, I like it.
Alliteration.
I was like, I'm not sure what you're where you're going with that one. See, I wrote down letters. I screwed myself on this one. I wrote down letters versus actual words. So that's real. I just don't know what I was doing.
So you just wrote T for teal?
Yeah, I guess so. Purple.
Platypus. No, octopus. Octopus. I saw an octopus, then I said platypus.
Platypus is like, it kind of looks like a duck, but it has like 4 legs, right?
Harry the platypus.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna look at my camera roll for pictures or for colors because mauve.
What color is that?
Mauve. It's like a purpley, browny, pink. Okay, never mind. We'll skip that color.
Sand.
Sand. I'm here for it. Green.
Grass.
I was looking at grass too. Red.
Bull.
I would have never said that.
Matador.
Do you drink Red Bull?
Sometimes, yeah.
Really?
I need energy. I was thinking like Bull, not Red Bull.
Oh.
Like, that's why I said Matador.
Well, yeah, but isn't there a Matador on the Red Bull cans?
Maybe. I don't know.
What flavor of Red Bull is your favorite?
Sugar-free.
Okay, that makes sense. I was like, I don't think I ever seen you with a Red Bull. I think I always see you with like a Gatorade bottle or Prime. Are you still drinking Prime?
I haven't in a while. I should get some.
I think they have it at Costco now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's everywhere. It's growing.
Next time I go to Costco, I'll look at the price for you if you want me to pick you up a case.
I drink Prime Energy a lot.
I thought the original Prime had energy. There's a difference?
Mm-hmm. They have like an energy drink with like 200 milligrams of caffeine and BCAAs and electrolytes, I think.
The electrolytes is what I like. Okay, brown.
Dirt.
Yeah. It's Minnesota this time of year. Brown and dirt.
Yeah. Sad time of year.
It's okay. It's okay. We have to stay positive. It's a hard time of year, the seasonal depression.
I want to get a sun lamp.
I have seen those before, and you just sit and like work with it like on your face. Sometimes I'll go tanning, like I'll just go like tan like one day a week, and it just feels so good. But if you keep up on your vitamin D supplements, you feel way better.
Yeah, I need to get some.
I just do like little droppers. It works. Cool. I was really unprepared for that. I put letters and not whatever, so I looked through my camera roll, but it worked. It's just fun because like other people, I don't know what people would say when I say a color.
Probably something different.
Yeah, it's very interesting. That's why I like doing it, because people think of like the craziest things. Like Nate, I said winter, and I expected him to say hockey, and he said snowmobiling. Who knew? Anywho,
Why didn't he say hockey?
I don't know.
That's maybe a year-round thing for him, though, and that's maybe why he didn't.
Yeah, I was just like shocked. We were sitting here, and I was like, "You're joking, right?" He's like, "No." I was like, "Okay, go on." Cool. I just like to break it up a little bit. Something fun. Kind of like the questions that we ask you guys. Like it just like breaks it, like for the post. Like different things about you guys. Just breaks it up a little bit. Okay, so before you came to the team, you were a solo agent with CBB?
CBB, Century 21.
Century 21. I couldn't remember if it was Century 21 or Coldwell.
They don't have CBB there.
In Wisconsin?
Not where I was. It was like Coldwell, River Valley or something.
Okay. Did you guys have Edina over there at that time? No. It was just probably like those two and like a bunch of little small ones.
There was a Remax, a Century 21, a couple EXP offices, like a Gerard Heschler that was like, and Castle Realty, which don't exist elsewhere, I think.
Yeah. Cool. So you were with them, but before that you were in college at River Falls? No.
Turbo and lacrosse.
Lacrosse. I just am butchering this today.
Yeah. So I graduated in 2019, went to school in lacrosse. Then after 6 months, COVID hit, and then I finished out the semester, then dropped out, then spent like 6 to 7 months just like working as much as I could at pizza place and a golf course. And then I got my license like end of 2020, start of 2021.
Okay.
And then moved here March of 2022. Moved back here.
Moved back here. Yeah. So, oh my gosh, I had a question and my train of thought just like completely left my body.
That happens to me every day.
You went to school were you going to school for like physical therapy?
I was going to be a nutritionist.
A nutritionist. Okay. Yeah. And that makes total sense. Like
I like food.
You like food, but you like clean food.
Yeah.
Which I'm not good at.
Yeah, well, I just like got into it, and then it starts to like drive me crazy a little bit too much, because then you like really know like all the stuff, because I'm gonna butcher the number. I think there's like 46 essential vitamins and nutrients, which like you're just never going to get all of those in like a healthy amount in your body.
No.
And I spent a period of time where I was like, I have to get all this in me, and it's like, how do I?
Right.
Like you got to eat like 9 ounces of salmon and eat this and that and that. It's like that's alone just
take
a lot of
these
salmon
vitamins.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, I was, like, on a vitamin kick for a while where I was taking, like, so many supplements because I knew I couldn't get them all from food. And I would get so full trying to take all my vitamins because of the amount of water I had to drink to get them all down, that then I wasn't eating lunch because I was so full from, like, drinking all this water and because I have such a hard time with pills. And, like, some of those vitamins are, like, big. Like
omegas?
Like fish oil. Yeah, like omega-3 and, like, fish oil pills and, like, could not get them down.
I take like 2 or 3 of those at a time.
No, I can't do that.
It's just like the angle of your head.
Yeah. I've heard if you look down, it helps to swallow pills.
I look straight up.
Yeah, I don't know. TikTok told me it.
I just look up. You got to make a straight tube.
I don't know. I can't do it. But okay, so you decided to get into real estate out there. What made you decide to reach out to our team when you decided to move over from Wisconsin?
Well, I was moving, and then I just like went on Realtor.com and just looked up, top teams in Minnesota. I'm like, oh, where would be a fun place to work? And then I just like went through all the top ones, and I saw the TMT in Tyler's profile, and I read that. I was like, ooh, that sounds like fun. Like,
right.
That'd be my number one. And then I figured but when I was in lacrosse, like I emailed like 5-6 places, and like 2 responded, and 1 gave me the time of day with an interview. So I figured like I got to reach out to so many places up here to like figure something out.
Right.
But I saw like Tyler. I'm like, that's my number one. So I'll send him an email. I'll give him like 24 hours, and then I'll email everyone else, and then just go from there.
Right.
He responded within 24 hours, and I just never emailed everyone else.
Right.
Because I was like, oh, well, just meet with him, see where things go, and then we got on the phone, and we talked for like 2 hours. I was like, oh, like that's cool. Like I'd like to work there.
Right.
And then next time I was in Minnesota, I just came up here to the office and met him, and then he's like, you know, whenever you come up here, you got a spot on the team.
Right. So what about our profile versus others that you looked at, or things in the conversation were different that you were looking for kind of in your mind?
I mean, I could tell I was just going to be like high level, like sales, like get the job done, work hard, like sell houses, which is something I liked. But then also just seeing like the team culture and just like, you know, kind of where I was before, like a lot of people were, I don't know, the average age was maybe like 50, 40 or something in the office, which it's not the case here.
No.
You know, our average age is got to be under 30. Got to be like 25 or something.
We got a few
30.
people that, you know, between like me, Tyler, Jordan, Corey, Anessa, and Jaden. I bet we're closer to 30 than you think.
I guess, yeah. It's like 4 younger ones, and everyone else is like mid-30s.
Yeah. And then we got a few old grandpas and grandmas, but that's okay. Yeah. So, yeah, the culture, the work hard ethic, the put your head down and get it done, but we like to have fun at the same time kind of thing. Yeah, I like that too. Obviously, we were with EXP when you joined us already, but since joining EXP, what benefits do you kind of feel from the brokerage? Or maybe if you were to go out solo someday, why would you maybe keep your license with EXP versus transferring somewhere else?
I mean, for me, like looking at having a long career in real estate, or at least the potential to have a long career, I think EXP makes the most sense because you're not going to get like, you don't get the downline kind of stuff that you get at other brokerages. So that's like, one, that's potential retirement, but then two, having that cap in there. Like if you're someone that goes off and does just a crap ton of business, the most you're ever going to pay is $16,000.
Yeah.
And if you do a crap ton of business, you can get that $16,000 back.
Yep.
So it's like working for free would be super cool.
Yeah.
And then just, I mean, the collaboration of it too. Like I've just gotten so much from being at EXP that like, I don't know why I would move elsewhere. It's like you know all the people, you've kind of created the relationships, like you've kind of figured out like, I don't know, there's just, it's a good culture. There's just so much benefit to it that I just don't see why I'd go elsewhere. And it was something where like I was looking for teams when I moved. I wasn't necessarily looking for brokerages. And I feel like I kind of fell into EXP, but I'm really glad I did because it's like, I don't know, I wouldn't really want to be elsewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like where I was before, there was a franchise fee and then an office fee. And then like you had all these splits. So like if I was on a team there, it would be, you know, X percent, like a little under 10% to the Century 21 name. And then you have like a split with your office. So then like 50-50 or 40-60 or whatever.
That's insane that they take that much.
And then you have a team split on top of that if you're on a team. And then you keep everything after there. So it's like at the end of the day, if you're like on a team and you have a 50-50 there and you have the 10% and then the office split, you're ending up with like 22% of your commission.
That's insane.
25%. Yeah.
It's just sick that people think they can do that and like think it's right, you know, like.
Well, that's kind of the thing. It's like we don't have physical offices, so we don't have the overhead expense. It's like when you have offices, office managers, all this other stuff, like those people have to get paid, so that has to come out of your commission somehow.
Yep. Yeah. And that was something we ran into with Edina, you know. We paid a lot of money into them every year, and it was like, well, but how much do you need to make off of us? Because, like, are we just helping fund keep all your other offices open, or, you know, what's going on here? So, yeah, I definitely like that about EXP. And then it's our office space is a write-off for the team. So, like, we can have the office space, but it's not like a total, like, waste of money to have it because it's a write-off and a benefit in that way. So.
Yeah, and you could do what you wish. Like with your money, it's not like you have to have this office space. Like you have to have these fixed expenses, or not even fixed expenses, but like you have like just the split because of the expenses.
Right.
Which like it frees you up to do other cool things. Like I mentioned the other day, like I've had this thought kind of passively for a year, but it'd be cool like down the line to like have a team where it's like you buy rentals as the team, you know, and it's like, so you have the splits, but as opposed to that split money going towards whatever, it goes towards, hey, we're going to pool this, and then we're going to buy a rental.
Yep.
Then we're going to buy 10. Then all the agents are going to get a salary because of that.
That'd be kind of cool.
That'd be really cool.
That's kind of a unique thought. And then you kind of have a fund, too. So, like, if something goes out, water heater goes out, you already kind of have a fund built up for that.
Yeah, and it could be something where, like, you have different divisions. Like you have these guys flipping houses, and then you're taking a smaller cut of that. Like you kind of let them do their thing, but you just get like a little fee, and then that all just kind of goes to this big pool. Then you just buy rentals with that. Then everyone just has like some cash flow. I don't know. Give everyone cash flow. Company keeps the equity, or I don't know.
I like it. That's smart. You talked about relationships that you have with EXP. I know that you built kind of relationship with Daniel DeRoche. Are you guys still meeting and hanging out?
I met with him in like July, I think.
Okay.
June.
He's
July.
so busy, and especially this time of year. So.
Yeah. No, I mean, I try not to like bug him too much, I guess. And
yeah.
He's someone where he's just such a wealth of knowledge that I feel like, I don't know. It's kind of like with the EXP Zooms, like the Monday Masterclass or Mastermind and Masterclass, where you can get so much info that it's almost overwhelming because like, I don't know, I get a lot of ideas and I get excited about ideas, and I don't need 30 ideas in my head all at the same time. So like someone like him, it's like if I meet with him 2-3 times a year, he's going to give me like so many different things to think about and kind of change the way I'm doing things that I think it's better to kind of have that spaced out.
Right. You can meet with him twice a year and still get just as much information.
Yeah. And what I've realized is like there's, a lot of like Tyler knows a lot, Daniel knows a lot, Parker knows a lot. Like all the team leaders, like tons of people know a lot, but their way to getting to success isn't going to work for me 100%. And it's like the case for everyone. So it's like I also don't want to like take everything he says to a T, like 80, 90, 99% of what he says, like take it to a T, but I know there's some amount that like I kind of have to find my own way.
Yeah. Like, are you going to hire a full-time showing agent? Stuff like that. Like, and maybe you will get to that point one day, which would be fun, but there's only little things you can do.
Yeah. And he's got a different model. Like I think his is like, he has to kind of delegate out more things. It's like you sell more houses, but then you have more expenses. So then that's kind of like that's what I see with a lot of people. It's like, or like investors, like I just bought 100 properties this year. It's like, cool, but you use other people's money. And it's like you bought 100 properties, but you're making the same as if you bought 2 yourself.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Like at some point it gets to how much of this do you want to spend and create more challenges for yourself versus just like keeping it a little bit more simple, which sometimes can be great. Cool. Anything else you wanted to talk about?
No. That's all I had.
That's all I got for you. So thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
We'll have you again in a few months probably. I'll prep you with more numbers.
Yeah.
We'll be like, let's talk about these numbers, and you'll just blow me away.
We'll just do math.
We'll just do math the whole time. We'll just have spreadsheets pop up on the screen the whole time. Like,
I just need numbers, like 16 times 34 or something like that,
Oh, yes. We will do that. That'd be fun. I don't know what 16 times 34 is.
534, I think. What was it? 16 times 34, so 340, and then 170 plus 34, so 204. On top of the 350, so 354.
544.
Oh, sorry, 544?
16 times 34.
Oh, the 40.
544.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's close.
We'll start easy. You could start doing math with Tyler's kids now that they're homeschooled.
I could.
We could like just send you over there. No.
No.
He's
I won't do it.
Well, he's like, they're going to come to work with you someday. Auntie Kayla's going to be teacher for the day. I'm like, oh man, I don't know if we need that. But
I can teach them math and numbers.
Math,
statistics,
cooking,
working out,
nutrition. Hey, they need to learn it, and they're not learning it in school. So
there's a lot of stuff you don't learn in school.
Right. And I think that's part of why they're doing it. It'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Bye.